Hey YouTube, so I'm back with another portable Bluetooth speaker comparison. I have my new favorite, the Aiwa Exos-9, and I'm going to go ahead and pit it against the Harman Kardon Onyx, the first version, not the second. Want to give a shout out to my buddy Josh for letting me borrow his Harman Kardon in order to do this comparison. So just a little bit about each speaker real quick. The Harman Kardon, the original one, is rated at 60 watts. It has a 4-hour lithium-ion rechargeable battery, and it has, let's see, your proprietary charging port there, and then another USB port for updates. It does not have an auxiliary in, nor does it have speakerphone capabilities. Those are features that you'll find in the new Harman Kardon Onyx 2, or the newer version. Other than that, the two are pretty identical, look-wise and sound-wise. Then over here we have the Aiwa Exos-9, which is rated at 200 watts of power, has a huge 6.5-inch subwoofer there with tweeters, 1-inch tweeters, and then two 3-inch drivers on each side. Another feature I really have enjoyed with this speaker is the ability to adjust the EQ, so you can actually make it a lot stronger or put the bass down if it's too much. Great little feature, really enjoying that feature on it. Battery life is rated at 10 hours on this, and that's at about average, about middle 50% to 60% volume. And let me tell you guys, at 50-60%, this thing sounds incredible. So yeah, 50-60%, I mean, for most people that's going to do it. And then this one does not have speakerphone capabilities either. It does have a proprietary charging port in the back. It does do USB charge out, which the Onyx does not. And it does have an auxiliary in, which the Onyx also does not have. And then it's got another micro USB port for future software updates. So anyway, that's a quick rundown of both speakers. So let's go ahead and test these out. I'm going to go ahead and take them out on the deck to start off with. And then after we hear them outside, we'll bring them both back in. I'll plug in the Harman Kardon because it is a little more powerful when it is plugged in. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright guys, so I got both speakers set up. I'm out here on my deck, about 10 feet away from the speakers. I'm going to go ahead and start off with a Harman Kardon, and I'll go ahead and start off at 50%, and then I'll switch over to the Aiwa Exos-9 and have that one at 50% and kind of give you a feel for what they sound like outside at halfway. So here is the Harman Kardon at 50% volume. Alright, so that was the Harman Kardon at 50%. And now I'll go ahead and switch over to the Aiwa Exos-9. And I will also put that one at 50%. And let's go ahead and have a listen. All right, guys. So that was the Aiwa Exos-9 at 50%. I gotta tell you, it's a big difference. I'm not sure if you can tell in the video, but um, you can definitely feel the bass. It just feels like it's a much bigger speaker than the Harman Kardon is at 50% out here on the deck. But anyways, let's go ahead and crank up, switch back to the Harman Kardon. And I'm gonna go ahead and just crank it up all the way to max and have a listen. All right, here we go. Max volume on the Harman Kardon. All right, guys, that was the Harman Kardon at max volume. It sounded good. I mean, I could feel the bass. It did sound a little bit muddy, and the highs and mids do seem to get a little bit lost out here. So let's switch over to Aiwa and see if that's any different. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to Aiwa, and I will go ahead and put that at max volume. So here we go, Aiwa Exos-9 at max volume. All right, guys, that's Aiwa Exos-9 at max volume. Yeah, that's night and day. It's not even close. It just blows the Harman Kardon completely out of the water. The deck is literally shaking. So, I mean, and that bass holds very well together, even at max, and just night and day. Night and day. I just can't emphasize it enough. But let me go ahead and keep it at max volume, and I'll go ahead and play the Aiwa Exos-9 a little bit more right now, and then I'll switch over to the Harman Kardon, and I'll just do it without saying anything. That way you guys can get a better feel for the difference. So here's the Aiwa again. Alright, guys, so I'm back inside. Yeah, outside, hands down, the Aiwa just wipes the floor with the Harman Kardon. Not that the Harman Kardon sounds bad, it just gets lost out there when you compare it to the Aiwa. Honestly, if I didn't have the Aiwa and I just have the Harman Kardon, I would have thought it sounded great, but hearing the Harman Kardon against the Aiwa, I mean, it is a drastic difference. The Aiwa just sounds fantastic outside. It does not lose any bass. The highs are clear and crisp, and just lots of power. But anyway, I want to go ahead and try them inside. I'm gonna go ahead and do it at 50%, and I'll start with the Harman Kardon, and then I'll switch over to the Aiwa, then we'll do a max volume test. And then you might notice there I've actually plugged in the Harman Kardon because it does actually get a little more powerful when it is plugged in and not just running on battery. So let's go ahead and start with the Harman Kardon at 50% indoors. Definitely indoors is a big improvement. That combined with the fact that it's probably plugged in, it's got a little more juice there, a little more power. Definitely feel the bass a little more. It sounds actually like a little bit like a different speaker. It sounds very good. So now let's go ahead and switch over to the Aiwa Exos-9, and I will also put that one at 50%. And I'll go ahead and play the same song there, and here we go. This Aiwa Exos-9 at 50%. Yep, Harman Kardon sounded good until I just heard that. It's really just no comparison. The Aiwa is just a lot more powerful, just bigger sound stage. Just sounds way more impressive. Not that the Harman Kardon is bad. It's actually a great speaker, but I mean, compared to this, it's just no comparison. So just for fun, let's go ahead and take them both to max. I'll go ahead and switch back over to the Onyx and crank it up to max volume, and then we'll switch over to the Aiwa. So here's the Onyx at max volume. Max volume on Onyx, and now let's go ahead and switch over to the Aiwa, and I'll put that one at max volume as well. So that is max, and here we go. Alright guys, so hopefully you could tell the difference in sound quality, or just sheer power, the Onyx, just really no comparison to the Aiwa. So the Onyx is still a great speaker, especially the fact that you can get it on Amazon right now, brand new for about 130 bucks, and like new condition for about 80 bucks, which is a fantastic price for a really great speaker. It just doesn't compare to the Aiwa though. Aiwa is 299 bucks, so it is a lot more, but I mean, you are getting every penny worth on the Aiwa, and when you hear this in person, you won't regret for 1 second spending 300 bucks on a speaker like this. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and it kind of gave you a good feel for the difference in sound between these two portable Bluetooth speakers. Any questions or comments, go ahead and just leave them below. And thanks a lot, guys.